turbo day today with the MazdaSpeed 3. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as the downpipe, but it's definitely gonna be bad. Mostly because I'm dealing with a lot of small things, but I think this should be easier. Considering, of course, we have the downpipe completely out, and there's obviously some stuff we have to get in underneath. All in all, it should be fine. Anyways, what is going on, guys? Today we got a brand new video. Like I said, we're doing the turbo. It's turbo day. We're gonna take out the stock turbo in the MazdaSpeed 3, and that's pretty much gonna be the finale of everything that needs to come out of the car until we can start putting in new stuff. Like I said, the reason why I'm doing this in segment videos is because, well, I gotta wait for parts to come in. So battery box is confirmed and coming in real soon, which is awesome. Thank you. I'll give you an actual shout out when I'm making that video. I got an EGR delete coming in. I got a 3-port coming in, and then obviously some nuts and bolts that I might need when I'm putting the BNR in. But today is pretty much our tutorial into getting the turbo out. So first step you guys are gonna wanna do, if you haven't already watched a downpipe video, because you need to do some downpipe work to be able to get at the underside of the turbo. Just a clarification that I'm gonna be reading a tutorial or an instruction sheet while I make this video, and I'm learning. This is my first time doing this, but it's all part of the plan. So without further ado, go ahead and let me look up the first step of what we need to do. So once you're done with the downpipe, gotten the battery box out and stuff like that, before you touch the turbo, we need to drain a gallon coolant from the radiator, which once you've taken everything off, obviously you might not have the front bumper off like me. You go under this under the skid plate, and there's this little knob that comes out right here. It's a little Phillips. So what we can do is I have an 8-gallon drain plug right here. I'm pretty much going to fill the bottom of it. For the most part, I can actually kind of reuse that coolant, but we just stick it in there and then go grab a Phillips, and then we can go ahead and make a mess. So I'm pouring out the coolant from that tab. My tab's being a little bit of a pain in the ass here, but a gallon isn't too much. So, but I'm kind of just getting a little flatty in there and trying to give her a little pry, because it is kind of like a plug and a screw at the same time. And then you guys can reuse this, I guess, technically. I mean, if you're in here, you might as well do a flush, to be honest, but that's up to you. Okay guys, so the next step is you get under the car. We're gonna take care of all the lower bolts here. So this is gonna be horrible for you guys to see. You need a 14, you need an 8, and you need some pliers. So you need to remove this coolant line right here. So you get some pliers, squeeze that hose right off. And you need an 8mm, 1 bolt, 2 bolt. There's a 3 bolt and a 4 bolt. Keep those gaskets on this line, take that whole line off. I believe that's our oil drain line, which are 314s, one right here. There's one right here, and there's another one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those up. You guys won't really be able to see what's going on, but once I remove everything, I'll kind of show you what's happening. So apparently a gallon wasn't enough. Pretty sure I just emptied most of the cooling system. Make sure to put this back on tight so no more coolant can get out, because I just flushed pretty much all of it out of that turbo. Now I gotta clean this up, and I don't have enough stuff to clean it up. So, and that's under the car, and I can't move the car. So, yeah. All right, guys. So my coolant mess is slowly starting to dry up. It's just a little greasy, but she'll dry up soon. So we got everything out. We popped that coolant line off. We took the support bracket off, the bolt. So this bolt's gonna be sitting directly up, 12-inch extension, maybe a little bit of a wobble head, and you'll get that one out. The other two you can just access by breaker bar underneath the car. That's easy. These ones were easy too. This won't drip fuel on you, unless maybe it was recent, or oil, unless it was recently driven, but that's good. Keep the gaskets. I'm probably going to replace these gaskets, but bolt right here and stuff like that. So now we're on to the next step, which I believe we don't need to be under the car anymore. So now we're going to go work on the electronic boost control solenoid, which you guys can see is pretty much right in there. Our next step here is basically we're clearing a path for the turbo at our next step. So we're taking off the brake booster shield, which there are 3 10 mils that we're just taking off right now. So we can go ahead and pull those. There's not as much coolant on the ground anymore, which is good. One off. I take this bottom one off and pop that off, and then we can pull the booster shield out A little squishy at the bottom, take that out. So we do need to unplug the electrical connector that goes into the EBCS. Okay, so we unplugged that and that's all we need to deal with. So now we're gonna work getting the EGR done. You guys can't really see the EGR, so I'll put you down here and go like this. So we're gonna move this line off of the EGR. Once we're done that, we're going to, we should actually unplug the EGR first, and then we're gonna remove this line, and then there are, I believe these are two 12s or 10s that hold the EGR into the block, and then we're gonna remove that. So let's go ahead and remove that EGR line first. I've already actually taken the EGR off this car once. There's probably gonna be some more coolant that wants to come out. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove the two EGR bolts. I think they're 10s, but they are 10s. They're definitely 10s. So we can remove the 10s. And I'm doing an EGR delete anyway, so this is pretty much useless to me. And let's see if we can get this out by hand. Yes, sir. Go ahead, pop that out. And EGR, bye-bye. Bye-bye, EGR. And then there's also a gasket on there that you can either leave on or take off. I'm going to try and take this off. There we go. So the EGR gasket is off. Look at all that room to the turbo. We're getting there. We're pretty close here. So there's a couple more things that we're going to get at. It'll almost be a clear path just to rip it out. There's a ton of room that we have now too, which is it's exciting. This is really exciting. Our next step, since we've moved the EGR, there's a banjo bolt that sits right here. You see that silver line? Sits right there. That's a 14. Grab a little extension. We're gonna remove that out of that turbo. Again, another angle that I can't get, so I'm sorry, but crack that loose, wasn't that tight. We can go ahead. I'm gonna remove that banjo bolt. Good boy, banjo, which means that line is totally off. So our next step is, if you guys look in here, you look straight at the turbo, this nut right here, that's a 12 mil. Our next step is to take that off. Give her a crack. This is where things might start getting lost and miscoded. And then that line should actually disconnect. So now that we've removed that line, now we're gonna go ahead and remove the nuts. The 4 nuts that hold the exhaust manifold to the turbo. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 here as well. They're really easy to access. Maybe PB blast these, get some lubricant in there. But once we move those, then bueno. And these are our last bolts to getting the turbo out here. So there's nothing holding on to the turbo right now, which is where a second pair of hands might come in handy, because it is quite heavy and it's basically got to come out this way. Now there are some connectors like right here that you can remove to make this line a bit easier. I think my only really issue here I'm gonna have is trying to get it past this hose, and especially that coolant hose down at the bottom. There's one more. This one's holding the turbo in place, so what I'm gonna try and do, and I'm gonna have to manhandle this like a man, I'm gonna take you right out. We're in the free, just got this goddamn coolant line. Oh, we are free willy. We are free willy, baby. Boys, I just wanted to tell you something. The turbo's out. We did it. Well, guys, our project is complete. Here's the OEM K04. If you guys can see in here, quite a bit of shaft play. I can get it moving pretty good. So anyways, this is your electronic boost control solenoid. We're going to be doing a 3-port with the JBR. I also have an EGR valve delete coming on the way. And yeah, so this is actually kind of cool. You know what? Taking this out wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I think the worst part about this was turbo support bracket, which was under the car. And then obviously that coolant line that shed coolant all over me wasn't cool at all. K04 from a CX-7 on that wall over there, which means we got a K04 collection. So if I ever need a K04, then I know where to get one. So this is kind of cool. But that's all I got for you guys today. Pretty much just had to remove the K04 from MazdaSpeed 3, and that's all I had for you guys. But that's the project done. So now that we're complete everything, now I kind of wait for parts to come in. So like I said, I need that 3-port before the turbo goes back in. I have gaskets and stuff like that I need, obviously. So I have a new downpipe gasket, and I have a new exhaust manifold turbo gasket as well that I have. Here's the BNR right in here, and this one has a little bit of shaft play, but it's nothing exceeding like the other one, but like I said, anyways guys, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like a video, and comment down below what you guys think. Turn on post notifications as well. If you guys have any questions, like I said, let me know. Been through this, done it, and now I know what I'm doing. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much. Keep it real. I'll see y'all in the next one.